Hey everybody, how's it going? So this is going to be a video on some offensive zone positioning. So this changes things up quite a bit from our defensive zone positioning. So let's look at that. Whoa, flippy animation there. So we've got our team, our center, our left winger, right winger, left defense, and right defense. Just kidding. No, we don't. In the offensive zone, we're actually going to end up with our two defense, our left and right, but then three forwards. And the way we do that, or the reason we do that instead of having a left winger, right winger, and center, is because of this guy called the attack triangle. Now, the attack triangle is the positioning that your forwards are going to have. So each forward should be at a point of that triangle, and the forward line should try to always stay in position and always have that triangle in existence. It can stretch and spread a little bit, but always have that triangle. So an attack triangle helps the line always to have more than one passing option, regardless of what the other team's defense are doing or even what our defense are doing. As I said, the positions are interchangeable. So they'll change based on where the puck is and what's going on the ice. So again, these forward can move around. We can generally stay in our areas on our sides of the ice. Center in the center, left wing on the left, right wing on the right, that's on the right, that sort of thing. But in the offensive zone, there's going to be a lot more moving and shifting around. So let's look at your typical face-off in the other zone, in the offensive zone. So I actually want to take that attack triangle and I want you to just put it on the back burner for now, and we'll look at that face-off. Of course, this isn't how we're going to line up in the offensive zone, nor really how the other team is going to line up. So the other team is going to do exactly what we did. They're going to put their right defense at the hash marks and move their right winger over. But now that isn't still quite right. So there we go. That right winger is going to move up the face-off circle a little bit. So this allows that right defenseman to move over a bit and away from the boards to get open, be a little more relevant to the play, get a little bit closer to the slot. So let's get rid of the other team just for simplicity's sake. The right winger can also move back more and sit on the boards, which again allows the defenseman to move towards the center of the ice, because really the winger just sitting right there on the hash marks isn't that useful. If the winger is sitting on the boards and let's say our forward or our centerman wins the draw, but it's a little bit wild or it gets deflected, I've seen it a lot of times where that puck hits the boards and goes out of play and out of the offensive zone because the defenseman wasn't there, but the winger was sitting at the hash marks and really wasn't there either. So this allows the forward, they put their butt right on the boards, they can skate forward and intercept any puck as well. So we're just going to assume that the right winger, or forward 3 in this example, is up the circle bit instead of on the boards. Realistically, it doesn't make a big difference, but it's more of a choice. So when the center wins the face-off, there's 3 options that I'm going to go over. The first one, as you just saw, is winning it back to that right defenseman. This allows the right D to pass across to the left D, who's in the high slot for a nice shot. Let's just reset that face-off really quickly. The other option is that the center wins the face-off directly to the left D, again, who's in the high slot ready for a shot. One more reset. Now the center wins the face-off to the right winger. Now we have the winger high up on the circle, but if that winger was on the boards, that winger can either skate forward to the puck or they get it right on the boards. It doesn't really change the play that much. So let's just use that winger high up on the circle. So a pass back to the D is an option. Now this is where that attack triangle comes into play. So now the forwards have assumed that attack triangle position, and that gives that defenseman a ton of options. So let's look at those. The right D can pass to the left defenseman, who can take a nice shot to be tipped by that second forward. Yay. Or that right D can take a shot in front of the net to be tipped by either that second forward or that third forward. or that right D can bounce it off the boards and pass it to that first forward who's kind of sitting on the goal line. So with the attack triangle, you open up your line to multiple options: passing, tipping shots, just shots on net, more passing. If you stay as a triangle, you'll almost always have those options available to your line. So now let's look on the other side here. So if the right defenseman had passed it over to the left defenseman, again, that forward line is going to adjust, but they're always going to stay in that attack triangle. So many options available. Let's say passes to the goal line. So right now we don't have somebody in front of the net. So this attack triangle isn't very rigid. It's very flexible. So if there's any pressure, you can make it bigger, smaller, move it around. In this situation, the D had passed to the forward on the goal line. The triangle here itself actually looks pretty bad, but there are still multiple lanes available. He can now pass back to the D, either the D, the forwards on the left side, or behind the net along the boards to the forward on the right side there. Let's say the puck is in one of the corners. The attack triangle can help with that too. But pay attention, because this image actually isn't right. It's wrong. So let's fix that. There we go. So now the triangle is functional. The first forward can pass now to the third and the second forward, or second forward. Now, I'm not going to go over all of the available situations that an attack triangle can cover, but the main thing to remember is to stay in formation. If the triangle collapses, so does your lane support. So in this situation right here, that second forward can't pass it to the third because the net's in the way. The triangle is too flat. So what you need to do is adjust basically to what we had there. So that is everything I had for today. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Have a great day. And, yeah, go hockey. Woohoo.